Who ordered the pizza?
Welcome, students, to Valley City Community College. These are going to be your announcements for the day. It is the first day of classes. We are so excited to have all of our new and returning students. We like you just as much, returning students. We are here for a year of fun and education and adventuring, and hopefully nothing bad happens this year, nothing at all. There's a little accident near the forest, near one of the parking lots after the activities fair about a week ago. So just, maybe steer clear of, parking lot G for a little while. It's a little, why don't we just leave that parking lot alone? Sure? Yes, okay. Now everybody go forth and have an incredible day. Hi, folks. I'm Tess. I'm going to be the gamekeeper. With us tonight, we have Bert,
Derek Michael Johnson, and you can just suck my nards.
Dan. Ooh,
Oh, you're muted.
nope, you're muted.
I thought I unmuted. I double clicked it.
Dan, who are we playing tonight?
I paused for edit.
Sorry,
Garth
we're doing
Grim
it
Knuckle.
live.
And Jake.
Hi, I'm playing Andre.
Andre, great. So
Andre
I don't know
who?
if I don't know if the audience has earned the full name yet. We'll see.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Ooh. Wow, already in
they'll
character.
get the name piece by piece. So this is the first day of school. All of you are probably laying in your various beds in the morning time. What do you think that your characters are thinking? How are you feeling? I know each of your characters has a very different opinion on what it means to be going to this school right now. Dan, how do you think Garth's feeling? You're laying in your dorm room.
Yeah.
There's like some light noise of breakfast being cooked in the kitchen.
Garth is nervous underneath the relief of like being in his own space. That's a real positive, but the nerves are just about what is to come because he's not sure.
Because he's not sure. Okay, cool. You get kind of a knock at your door, and it's like, "Hey, Garth, you awake, man? We got class together in like 10 minutes."
Yeah, Mikey, I'll be ready in a sec.
All right, man. But if you don't get up first, Moore's gonna pick seats for the three of us, and he's gonna pick bad seats.
All right. He starts to get up.
You get up, you get ready for the day. What class do you think that the three of you are taking this morning? You and your two other roommates who are old family friends of yours, Mikey
Right.
and Moore.
They are. I guess once I told Mikey that I was taking tactics and resource management, Moore also had to register for tactics
Oh,
and
of
resource
course.
management.
I was already registered, dude. It's fine, man. Like, I
Right.
was registered first.
Fortunately, I didn't tell Mikey or Moore about Siege 102, so that should be all to me. But this morning, I think we're starting with tactics and resource management.
Tactics and resource management. So cool. You get your bag together in the morning, all the things that you're going to need for your day. And we'll move down one floor below you. Andre, you hear the shuffling and stomping of loud orcish feet moving about above you, some slamming of doors. What are you doing? Are you laying in your bed? What are you up to, Andre?
I probably wake up and I'm a little pissed that Reginald didn't wake me up this morning with my normal coffee and bacon and eggs, and then I realize, oh, I'm not at home. So I'll put on my robe and my slippers because I'm secretly an old man, and open up the door, walk outside, and I don't know, what do I see when I walk out of my dorm room?
You walk out into the common area of your dorm room because this is a dorm building where everyone has their own individual room, and they're living with three other roommates who have their own rooms, and there's a shared common area and kitchen. So you exit your room, and immediately it looks like a bomb went off in the living room. Like, you've been here about a week settling in, and slowly the living room has been getting more and more progressively into what one would probably lovingly call a stoner cave of just like piles of clothing that are like almost curled over in the top, and the windows are all obscured with like blankets that have been tacked up, and there's like psychedelic posters everywhere. All the furniture in the center of the room is like lawn chairs and a mismatched table with a bong on it. Like that's what you see as you wake up this morning, and your roommates are all like flopped over on various couches and chairs. Some of them like still kind of like almost like sleep smoking, like kind of just.
Andre probably just like lets out a sigh. I mean, did the dorms have showers in the dorms, or is it like a communal shower situation?
There's like a communal shower situation. You have like toilet rooms, but not shower rooms.
Okay, so he's probably been dreading this. He goes to get ready for a shower, and he'll probably like step out and he'll like take a look around in the hallway to see if there's anyone there.
All right. Do you want to roll perception?
Yeah. 11.
11. Yeah, you kind of like step out and look around and are like, cool, I don't see anybody. And the moment you step out and close your door, the door right across from yours opens up, and there's like a young girl kind of about your age, also wearing a robe, like a towel kind of wrapped up, holding like a shower caddy, and is like, like kind of ends up face to face with you, because this is a co-ed dorm building, so the people right across from you may be a girls dorm or a femme dorm or a dorm that's not you and the 3 boys you live with.
I also scream and decide that I'm not showering today, and I'll turn around, go back in, and I'm gonna start getting dressed, and I want to go find Odette so I can complain to her.
Cool. So you're gonna get dressed and you're gonna try to go find your sister. We're gonna probably cut over, not on campus anymore. We're gonna kind of travel, upwards and over a bit to the small, kind of sleepier farm town, one town over, to the house of Derek's grandparents. Where Derek, you're probably in bed maybe still. Do you think that you sleep in the attic, or are you in the basement? Where are you?
So
The apartment above the garage?
No. Derek just sleeps on the couch because he doesn't want to be hearing all that funky chicken noise going on with his still lively grandparents.
Sleeping in the living room makes it worse. You wake up to a cacophony of like animals shrieking, just come on, don't run around like that. Like there's just noise.
Are the animal noises my grandparents or the actual animals?
You know what? Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Keeping it vague.
Old man Greg really gets his woman going,
Greg and Marigold.
But,
oh no, that's
as someone who's really respectful of his grandparents, because they really show me a lot of love. I'm prepping breakfast for them 2 hours before my first class, because I don't drive or bike. I do the 10-mile run to school. And you can't do that before a good balanced breakfast with eggs, bacon, hash, a little bit of orange juice with the extra orange that we didn't freshly squeeze into the orange juice as orange slices on the side, a nice bowl of oatmeal, maybe some Wheaties, and if I'm being real frisky, I'll also have a grapefruit.
If you're being frisky.
I mean, that's a lot of sugar.
Okay, cool. I feel like I almost want to make you roll something for this.
I could roll athletics check to see if I beat my best time to run back to school. Because I obviously time myself every day.
We'll get there.
You're rolling for the meal.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm a trained chef. I always cook my own meals.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't you roll me like a chef's check, which will be, we'll call it like an intelligence check with, or maybe a wisdom check with proficiency. You can roll this.
All right, I'll do that.
Where did Derek learn to cook?
My parents never cooked for me, so I've been cooking since I was like 9. Good, nothing better than a good scramble. Ooh, okay. That's a 19 cook check. You know what? I didn't even use a spatula. I flipped those shits just
Derek has not used a spatula in 15 years. He wouldn't know how. Yeah, no, you cook up an incredible breakfast. The spread is beautiful, and like you're able to like it's laid out really nice too. Where Derek is probably not like do you have like a food Instagram you run or?
Absolutely not. My Instagram is solely about gains.
But like
every day you just see a new flex
gains
I do.
Or gays? Gains?
Yes. I said gains, but yeah.
Derek has fun. Yeah, so you chef up this incredible meal that's laid out. Your grandparents actually they were working out in the farm. They were up before you, but they got to get up and do the morning chores. Which sometimes they ask you to come join them for if there's a lot of them, but oftentimes they know that they don't need to because you're making them breakfast, which is very nice of you. But they always come in and your grandma's like, "Oh, you didn't need to do this. It's fine. I was just gonna whip up my own feast, but no, this is delicious." And she like
Marigold,
down.
Miami, I forgot to make.
Sweetie, I'm your grandma. Don't call me by my first name.
I know. Whenever I get flustered though, I forgot to make Poppy's flapjacks.
Oh, don't worry. That's okay. He'll be fine. And you look over at your grandfather who's just like snarfing down the food you made. Like, what? Oh, yeah, my pancakes. Yeah, sure. Like, is just quite appreciating the meal that you made. Yeah, and you're kind of, you're up, it seems, probably earlier than the other two. Like, the other two are up way closer to when classes start. You have to run to school though because
I choose to run.
Your grandfather's like, again, I can drive you in the truck, or you can drive you in the truck. You don't have to run to school every day. I mean, I'm also going to be like going that way. Like you run alongside the car for most of the drive.
I flex my thighs and just go, "You don't think these just come from nowhere, do you, Poppy?"
Yes, sweetie. You have very impressive thighs, and your grandma like pats you on the head and gives you a kiss.
Thanks,
and you
Mom.
get all you get together and ready for the day. Describe for the audience though, how many bags are you wearing?
I've got all 5 of my bags.
And so you're running to school wearing 5 bags.
Yes, absolutely. I've got my football bag. I've got my backpack. I've got my Gatorade bag, which is basically just like a little fanny pack with like sections in it for 5 different Gatorade bottles. I've got my snack bag in case I get snackish. I also have a bag specifically for my weapon, which is a maul, and then on my back underneath my backpack is my shield, which I wear like a second backpack.
And on top of all of this, you're wearing dress pants and suspenders.
Absolutely. No shirt.
You are truly a sight to behold as you clang outside with all of your backpacks on. And yeah, why don't you roll me that athletics check to see how it is running 10 miles to school?
These bags don't slow me down none. Nat 1.
First nat 1 of the game. That's fun.
Did we have a thing for nat 1s, or just we pause and laugh at them?
So yeah, as you're thinking these bags won't slow me down a bit, you are incorrect, because the way it's a lot of it is the bags. The 5 bags. Have you ever run with 5 bags on you?
As Bert, I've run with a single bag, and it's pretty awful.
It's pretty bad. It bounces in a bunch of different directions, but because there are 5 of them, they're all kind of doing this thing, and you're just kind of like, no, I'm doing this. See,
that's why you got a Naruto run. Keep all level.
Makes it nice and aerodynamic.
Exactly. You got a nat 1, so he's not even smart enough to do a Naruto run.
The entire 10-mile run, I am solely blaming it on my religious textbooks for all the religion courses I'm taking.
For all of the religious, because you didn't register for classes until late, and those were the only classes that were left. But you do have a bag that's full of textbooks. It is very, very windy today as you are like running, and there's also a lot of like wind. Quite literally, you're not really running, more as like fighting against the wind, dragging your bags behind you. You fully miss your first period. Just fully, you miss your first period of the day.
What period was first period?
Your first period was your Angry Gods class. You missed your first Angry Gods 101.
Now I know why they're so fucking angry. This wind's shit.
Yeah, so we'll leave Derek struggling on the road as he attempts to get himself to school. The other two, you guys are you probably each make it to class on time. Bringing, I don't know if you bring coffees or little
I think
snacks.
Garth drinks tea.
He brings tea.
Yeah.
Andre, what do you think your first class of the day is?
Something magic related. I guess it's probably like cantrips 101. Like he probably starts the day off real easy.
Yes. You show up to your Cantrips 101 class, and the teacher kind of, gets to the front of the classroom, and he seems a little a little rigid, a little kind of already tired to be here. And he's like, all right, welcome class. I know that you think this is syllabus day, and we're just going to not do any work because I'm handing out a syllabus, but that's not true. You can read it on your own time. It's homework. There's questions on it. We are immediately jumping in to cantrips. And he goes to the board and he goes, we're going to start with the easiest, most basic cantrip that should barely be called a cantrip. And he goes and writes on the board, Mage Hand. What does this mean for Andre? Do you have any reaction to this? As he kind of starts his lecture saying, this cantrip is for babies and beginners. Most elves are born just knowing this thing. There's some, one person says that they can invent a cantrip when really this has been there since the dawn of time. Does Andre have any reaction to this?
He's probably like head down, like, oh fuck, like I hope nobody's looking at me right now because it's just gonna cause a whole scene.
Why? Do you want to reveal yet why this would be embarrassing for Andre?
I have a feeling it's gonna come up if they make me cast Mage Hand, but yeah, I guess I'll explain it. If you've heard of the cantrip Mage Hand, my grandfather is the mage in Mage Hand. He's the one that invented it. Please calm your excitement. It's very embarrassing for you to get so excited over meeting me. I get this all the time.
Do you say that in class, or are you just saying that for edification right now?
I'm just saying it for edification. I mean, if it gets brought up, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I think that he's like, who here already has a Mage Hand cantrip that they are good, or decent at the Mage Hand cantrip, and a couple kids kind of are raising their hands. Some of them a little bit more eager than others.
I definitely wouldn't, especially because of what happened like last week. Like I would not raise my hand.
And this is of course Cantrips 101. Your younger sister Odette, who's also attending school here, she's 12 years old and she's a genius, so she's graduated beyond her need for normal school and is just taking some classes before she can get admitted to a higher, better school. But she's not in this class with you because she is in Cantrips 102 because she is smarter than you are.
No, she's just a nerd. That's why. It's because she's a big
she's
nerd.
a nerd. Is that?
Yeah. Because she kisses a lot of ass and because she's a nerd.
Andre would never admit that his sister is smarter than he is. So do you raise your hand to say that you know how to do a Mage Hand cantrip, or?
No, absolutely not.
No. So he's going to say, okay, we're going to pick a kid from the class who doesn't know how to do one, and then another one who does, and he looks around and he points at somebody and he's like, you know how to do one? Good. You think you got one? All right, come up to the front of the classroom. And then as he's scanning over the classroom, his eyes drop on you and he kind of gives the page a look and looks at a sheet of paper for a second and goes, you don't know how to do a Mage Hand?
No. No.
Okay. Why don't you come to
that spell is so basic it's below me. We moved on past that spell. I've long since forgotten it.
So basic. So
you know
basic.
What? Okay. Why don't we relearn some Mage Hand? Why don't you get up here and show us some Mage Hand? Or we'll have her show you how to do it, and then see if you can get the hand of it. All right. So this girl kind of comes up and she's like really concentrated and she's like holding her hands out in front of her. And then she just kind of flicks her arm out. And from her arm, this kind of like, her magic kind of gathers together and takes like kind of a sheen off of her, like a glove almost. And that becomes her mage hand, which kind of like flies up. And as she kind of like, it looks like it's like, as somebody who is as good at mage hand as you are, it does look a little weak and it's like flickering a little bit. You can't help but notice that, but she gets a good steady grip on it and it looks a lot more solid. And she is able to like go over to her desk and pick up her pen, bring it back to her. And she hands you the pen with her mage hand. And the teacher just kind of goes, "You got it? Do you think you can pick it up from there? Why don't you show us yours? Why don't you try yourself?" Just concentrate within you and think about your hand exiting and going to get something across the room.
I will. I'll hold up my my finger with the ring on it, and out of the ring, a hand starts to form within like the jewel on it, and then it projects out from the ring. And this gold shimmering hand with my family crest, like it looks like it's almost like burned onto the back of the hand, comes out, and it shimmers gold very like spectacularly, and I'm gonna have it do like a couple loops around the classroom and then pick up the pen, and like it's gonna do like like a drummer like twirls around the drumsticks. It's gonna do that with the pen like around its fingers. And then I go, oh, like riding a bike, I guess.
The whole class is like silent and kind of shocked, and some of them are like, "Wow!" as it like dances past them. And as you kind of stop this show, the teacher like clears his throat and he's like, "Did you have your moment now? Did you have fun time with that? You have fun pretending that you didn't know what you were doing to only show that you were the best in the class at it? Was that fun for you? I hope that was fun for you."
I didn't ask to come up here. You're the one that took away from my day. I was perfectly happy in the back of the class.
Yeah, and you're the kid whose grandfather invented Mage Hand. I expect all the kids in this class to be honest about who they are, all right? We have a student here among us who clearly thinks that he is above us and better than what we do here, and that it would be, I don't know, somewhat noteworthy that your grandfather invented a cantrip. That's good for you, sweetie. My grandmother pioneered Fireball, but your Mage Hand thing is really very fun. Why don't you sit down and, really, deflate your ego a little bit in the back of the classroom? Why don't you, Mr. Mossman?
I'm going to have my hand knock something off his desk as I walk back. My mage hand's going to, bat something off the desk as I walk back.
Do you want to make a deception check to say that you're not doing that?
Sure.
I want a series about this professor's grandma. Can we just that real quick?
His granny?
I rolled a 13, and
You rolled a 13.
as I do it, I'm gonna say, "Oh, strong winds in here." Oops.
Oops.
He just kind of he wasn't really paying attention, and he turned back to the classroom and he begins teaching. We're gonna cut over to one of our other students in the beginning of their day. Garth, you also make it to your first period. You said that what class did you say you were taking?
Tactics and resource management.
Tactics and resource management.
Yeah, probably a lot of buzzwords like flanking, synergy, stuff like that.
Yeah, this is you're specifically on a track to walk out of here with your mercenaries license, right?
Right. I think it was something about being able to lead other people in an official capacity. Yeah, mercenaries license. Yeah. We can call it that for now. That's good.
It's just your license to be able to go into
I've
the
been
family
working
business.
unlicensed for 10 years, I guess.
Well, there's just certain jobs you couldn't have done because you didn't have a license, and you can't hold certain responsibilities in the business without a license either. So your parents have asked you to come to school later down in life. Andre is 18 years old. You were not, to come and get to work towards getting your license. As you kind of, show up to class on the first day, you're right. Like the first half of class, this teacher is a little bit more low key and spends a decent amount of time going over the syllabus. You guys tactics are gonna go over it seems like it's getting kind of into it though. You're gonna learn how to properly draw and map out tactics with the proper way. There's it's like citing a source. There's a right way to map out tactics, otherwise it just doesn't count. And so there's a whole beginning lesson on that, and it's hypothetical tactics. Toward the end of the year, you're going to get into real planning, and there's a whole unit that's just called gear! Exclamation point.
Oh my god.
So after this is over, your teacher is kind of yeah, we have this game that we will typically play on the first day of school to see how good you are at unpacking these packs and then repacking them so you could possibly fit more items into them than already were there. And a couple of the students kind of get up lazily, and more your childhood family frenemy kind of gets up and bumps you and is but I can get more shit into my pack than you can. Always been better at cramming shit in, dude. And kind of shoves you and runs away. He, flicks Mikey in the head, and he's not even competition. And he goes over to a pack.
I think Garth starts to say, well, some of us don't need that much stuff. No, forget it. Just kind of under his breath, Garth travels light.
Garth travels light. Okay, but do you?
I'll make a pack check.
So if you want to roll a survival check, I'll roll them for Moore and Mikey and see how everybody does.
Okay. Come on. Natural 1.
Oh, what is going on with this party?
This may never happen again. So I need to point out that I'm the only one that hasn't rolled a natural 1.
All right.
It's very important for me. It's very important for me.
Can Mikey help me?
No, nobody. Mikey's doing his own thing.
Mikey's trying to beat you.
Here's the thing. Mikey and Moore both don't really look like they're doing an incredible job. Both of them get all the stuff out of the pack real fast. Moore basically dumps it out, breaks a bunch of stuff, which is not the proper way to do this. Mikey's a little bit more gentle, but it's taking him a really long time to get things out. And then when it goes to getting things back into the pack, Mikey's having a hard time getting the things he already had back, and he's trying to get them perfectly back the way that they already were, which isn't really the assignment. And Moore is over there just trying to jam stuff in, and is no, just fit like this. But even that is better than the job that you're doing.
I think that Garth has he's thinking about the insult he wish he'd crafted to before Moore ran away, and then is kind of getting caught as he unpacks the pack. Garth has a lot of field experience, but no academic experience. And I think he's kind of he's in a weird headspace because of the way the syllabus was, and how he's gonna move that real knowledge to the classroom. And so as he's taking each thing out of the pack, he's judging it almost oh, this is, why would anyone actually have this in the pack just thinking too much about what's in the pack and not actually doing the assignment because he's just on a different place.
So you just don't put anything in?
I think he repacks it the way he thinks it should be packed, and maybe leaves some stuff out because it's this is dumb.
You repack it. The assignment is to take stuff out and put everything back in so you can fit more stuff in. You take a lot of stuff out, and you only put back in a fourth of the things that were already in the bag, and then you don't add anything.
25 feet of hempen rope will solve most problems. To have 50 feet is redundant. It takes up a lot of weight and space.
Kids these days.
When you're climbing a mountain, if everyone has 25 feet.
Back in Garth's day, they only give you 10 feet of hemp.
Wait. What happens if they all have 25 feet?
Then it's enough rope.
Plus, you never venture alone, so
other kids in the class standing around him but wait, what does that mean? And so you get your bag smaller than it was before, and as the teacher is going around grading it, he's just kind of bad, terrible, didn't do the assignment, not good, and then he looks at you and he's do you want to die? Is this you saying you're trying to die in the woods? Because like you took out like the sleeping pad. You know the sleeping bag doesn't just cut it, right? You need the foam pad as well.
Okay.
I mean, you opted for the smaller water skin. This is quite literally water keeps you alive.
Why would you carry two? Yeah, yes, sir. Of course.
And he's like, well, if you have notes for the assignment, then we can talk later. But I'd prefer if you did the assignments that I assigned. This is like a fun game, so I can get to know all of you. This is telling me a lot about you as a person.
I'll work on it.
I mean, all right, man, do you? I'm just okay. And he just kind of keeps going on, and he's Mikey and Moore both pass, and Mikey does technically do better than you, so he's like, oh, dude, got him, did it.
Yeah, you're great. You're great at sax, Mikey, for sure.
My sax is great, man.
Yeah, we all know how you love playing with sax, Mikey. It's fine.
Derek, you finally show up for school a period late. The classes are changing. It's college, so it's not a consistent schedule for everybody. Some people have gaps in the days and whatever. But you do have a class, after your first class, which is your world religions class. Because again, you were signed up for like 4 religion classes and a gym credit this semester.
I'm really looking forward to that gym credit.
Unfortunately, your gym class only meets like twice a week, and it's not one of the days that happens. Nards.
Nards.
This is your second semester here. You started in the winter semester or the spring semester last year, the previous year, the year before. This is your, it's your first fall semester, but your second semester overall. What do you think that was the kind of classes that you took last year? Were they all gen eds? Because you're technically you were a sophomore in your old school, so there are some credits that would have transferred. This is kind of a different situation though.
Derek definitely almost missed registration last semester as well, and got stuck with like math and learning the languages of the regions. And, like, things that, like, really have no value to Derek, but he had to take them.
Yeah. Derek's definitely on a different path in his life. He was kind of scorned by his old school and his old football team, and is really kind of changed course on, he doesn't know what he wants to do anymore or who he is really. And you sit down in your first world religions class, and your teacher walks out. She is kind of a smaller woman who's a little bit older, and she's like, settle down, kids. Yes, it's school time. It's going to have fun. So this is world religion. We are going to learn about the other cultures, and hopefully none of you kids drop out or fall asleep in my class. That's all I request. People don't like this class very much, but I think that you will all like it a lot. It's nice. It's good class.
Derek raises his hand and asks, do we fail if we do fall asleep in class?
I mean, I will maybe mark it down and have to have a talk to you about it, but I try not to fail my students. I'm not here to fail you. I'm here to teach you about the religions and many gods.
Derek takes this as a cue that he's allowed to fall asleep, so he takes his football bag and uses it as a pillow on his desk.
Okay, you're gonna go to doze off. Do you want to?
I just put all 5 footballs in the football bag on the desk and like try to squish them together so it's one big football, and like plop my head on it.
Okay.
Roll a comfy check.
Are you trying to do this stealthily, or are you?
No, she gave me permission.
So you kind of go to like doze off, and you're like, I don't know, as you're falling asleep, you're in the beginning of kind of, like that weird like pre-dozing off where you have like really weird vivid hallucination dreams where they're just like really kind of out there and super weird. And so you have a dream that you're sitting in this classroom, which is usually what happens with those dreams, that you're kind of where you are, and you fall asleep and you're immediately back in this classroom. And for a second, there's nobody in the room around you, and overgrowth and trees have come up through the windows, and it looks like it's abandoned. And you hear this creaking noise, and you look around and you realize that the tree roots are growing in, and then like hands, they crunch and the building starts to break, and you get hit in the head with a book as your teacher throws a book at you and is like, I did not say you could fall asleep. And you are awake.
I'm fairly certain you said I wasn't gonna fail if I did that.
Yes, but I did not say I wouldn't throw a book at your head.
Fucking touche.
And you notice this like she threw a little book at your head that she doesn't like then pick up again. She just kind of leaves it at your table and continues to go on teaching. She goes, many of you are probably clerics. Which is, fine. Most of it is, I get these nerdy cleric kids, and the clerics are like, hey, I love learning about gods. And they're like, yes,
hey,
yes.
Good. Derek
Hey, okay, we can be mean, but that's just in poor taste, okay, friend? What do you do? Why are you here?
I missed registration. This was all that was left.
Oh, okay, that makes me feel so good about myself. Okay. And she turns to like start kind of going over. She goes over the syllabus kind of in true and lets you guys out early, half an hour early, like most syllabus days are.
I returned her book when I walk out of class.
She's like not like paying attention to you. She's like writing some things on the board for the next class, and like putting things away in her desk. Do you try to put the book down somewhere?
Yeah, so I'll probably be like really slow to get up because I have to get all 5 of my bags back on myself. And
knocking over chairs.
And then I lean down, pick up the book, I walk over to her, and I like put it down her desk, not like firmly, but enough that you could hear a book hit the desk, and just go, if I was awake, I would have caught it. Just saying.
You can take the book and practice. Maybe get better at book learning and book throwing. I
look at the title.
The title of the book just says like lesser gods.
I like say out loud, I'm not much of a reader, but then I like slowly like push it into my book bag, and
you exit
away.
the classroom. You exit the classroom, and over her shoulder we see her smirk as you leave.
Man, if only there was something that would allow you to just have one bag to carry all of your stuff in this world.
But you don't understand. It's the principle of putting yourself to harder work to get the gains.
You're
well,
already
they say
exhausted.
no bags, no gains.
No bags, no gains.
You're already exhausted from your like horrible run here this morning. But the day goes on as kind of you get to the center of the day. You all have the same lunch period off. It's kind of a common one. Most people have the same lunch period off, so the teachers also have like a time that they can meet up easily and meet up with students who they know are going to be free. Where do you guys think that you're eating your first on-campus food? There's a really big cafeteria that has like a lot of different kind of facilities in the cafeteria itself, lots of different counters for various kind of foods that you could like. There's like kind of a big classic-y cafeteria area with like a lot of like nicer looks like they were recently redone. This is the redone side of the building. The sides of the building it's all kind of one building, but it's like almost looks like it's split in half, whereas half the building is brand new with all these really nice facilities and classrooms, and the other half is the older side of the building, what it looked like when it was built in like the 70s. So the cafeteria is in the nicer side of the building, and there's like this kind of classic cafeteria area, and then there's also this like kind of lounge area that people just like some couches and some benches and various like ends tables to like eat on and stuff, and it's just kind of like where like the cafeteria area looks like it's a little bit more quiet where kids are working and stuff, and the lounge area seems like it has like a little bit like people who are hanging out here.
I would like.
What are you
to
guys doing? What do
see-
you eat? Where are you eating?
I would like to see if there's anywhere I could get a veggie burger and French fries.
Yeah, there definitely is. One of the hamburger places. There's like a grill section, and you order a veggie burger, and the guy's like a burger made of vegetables.
Never mind. Just give me the fries.
I would go to the exact same place, knowing the gentleman who is working back there and the supporting staff, and I would.
Because you also work at the coffee shop in this cafeteria.
Right. And I would tell him the usual, and what that would be is 5 pieces of grilled chicken, unseasoned, and a singular burgie with no cheese.
He already has it pre-cooked. He just needs to heat it up for you. He's like, got you, Derek, and he goes and
You're
puts
my
the
man,
food.
Steve.
When he puts it in, he comes back, and he comes back with the most freezer burned looking veggie patty that you've ever seen. It's in this silicone saran wrap vacuum seal bag, and he's like, this is what you want? We just found it in the back. We had to scrape it off the floor. It was stuck to something, but I can make this for you. No, you know what? Don't even. I'm gonna make it for you on the house, my friend. And he makes you this veggie burger from the back of the meat closet, and fries, which look incredible.
Just when I think this school can't get any worse, they just impress me every time. And I'd like to turn to Derek after he makes his order. Just are you feeding a family with that? Are you?
Oh, bro, that's just pre-workout right there. I come back later for a second round.
For a second round.
I just flex.
You eat more food than that.
I take my dress pants and I roll them up and just show him my calf. And I'm like, you think that just happens, bro? Fucking work day and night for that shit, bro. Do you run? Do you like running?
You look at the gauntish, most sick looking Victorian boy. Do you run?
No, I have people to run for me.
Bro, they might be they're getting your gains for you, bro. You have to get your own gains. How many bags you got?
I'm sure. Maybe
follow me on Instagram, man.
Maybe you could get some gains for me. Do
like
you know,
Steve? 2 more chicken.
Nope, not what I meant at all. And I just stand on my breath. God,
2 more chickens.
Thank you, Steve.
Sure, that can be your second round. Do you know anywhere around in this town where I can get a good veggie burger?
Steve, what the fuck's a veggie burger?
I don't know, man. I'm making one though. Look, what if I just do this? And you see him take a carrot and a cucumber, and then he squishes them with his bare hands and just kind of does this with it. And he's like, "Is this better? I'm gonna make it for you too, man." And he puts that on the grill as well.
Throw some cheese on it. He wants cheese. You want cheese, right, bro?
At this point, you might as well just throw some meat on it too.
He said put a piece of chicken on it.
Oh man, that makes it so much easier.
I got you, Steve. I'm always here to help you, bro.
I'm so glad I took time out of my day to converse with you. Thank you for absolutely nothing.
Hey
I'll
man,
take my
you're
French fries and walk
absolutely
away.
fucking. What's your name, little dude?
Andre.
Andre. Derek Michael Johnson. You can call me DMJ. You need something, you come to me,
won't.
bro. No, fucking you come to me.
Sure.
Garth, where do you think you are in this mess?
So I figured Garth would have tentatively accepted Mikey's inevitable lunch invitation,
Oh, yeah.
but he would also be looking around to see if Lash has the same period off, if he could grab lunch with her.
Yeah, Lash, your other family friend that you grew up with, that
Right.
just someone else you also knew. She also is going to the school. She, of course, doesn't live in the dorm with you and Mikey and more. But yeah, you're like maybe, or where are you like trying to get food with Mikey? Are you standing on one of the lines? What kind of food cuisine?
Yeah, probably. I don't. I think he's kind of ambivalent about it because he's kind of just thinking about rope and like in this pack.
Mikey's a big fan of a good sandwich, and so there's like a sandwich station that he's kind of
Sandwich
waiting
sounds great.
and he is deep in a conversation with seems like a full stranger about the sandwich and sandwich etiquette. And he's like, here's the thing, man, if your sandwiches aren't symmetrical, what are you even doing? Like, people will put all the stuff on one side and then just like bread on top of it. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You gotta have every bite be the same backwards and forwards, dude. And the other guy is like, you don't get it. That's too much stuff on a sandwich. And they're like deep in this conversation right now.
I think Garth's gonna wait for like the optimal pause and then say, "That's just why you have to eat a wrap."
And as you say that, Lash is going to kind of like, slide up and kind of be like, yeah, I agree with whatever Garth's saying. He's usually right here. And Mikey's like, Lash, how was your day? Why weren't you in tactics and planning with us, man? Like, we missed you today. Oh man, what kind of classes are you taking? And she kind of like just rubs his head. She's like, don't worry about it. I just have to sign up for some prerequisites for some other thing. I'm getting that license just like all you guys are. Are we doing lunch? Let's do lunch. And she cuts Mikey and like puts her sandwich order in, same sandwich like it always is every time. And she goes, you following me? I'm gonna go eat in the lounge. I met some kids in class. Yeah.
Yeah, Garth absolutely just grabs like whichever one of the pre-made sandwiches is just out there and just follows. He's not paying Mikey. May I roll an insight check against Lash about her classes?
Yeah.
Because that I don't know. I'm all curious about
I'm like
what that
giving
means.
Andre the 411 on everything in the cafeteria. I'm like, you don't want to freaking go to the sandwich station. Dude who runs the sandwich station, he'll talk to you for hours about why lettuce is not the right condiment.
It would be miserable
him,
if somebody that I didn't want to talk to me for hours. It would be absolutely miserable if that happened.
That's why you come to me, bro. I'm straightforward. I give you the answer you want. Let's go have the lunch together.
What'd you get?
I rolled an 18.
You rolled an 18. Yeah. She kind of doesn't sit here to let you engage more in the conversation with her. She like puts her sandwich order in and then like kind of, zips off to wait for it. But you definitely got the sense that she was like, classically, she kind of looked down in a way when she was saying, like, I'm definitely here to get that license as well. I'll be in classes with you next semester. Like that, she's not, she doesn't.
Oh, she's also not in Rage 101 or 103?
I
don't know. I guess I wouldn't know because I'm not
really
in that
know her
class.
schedule very well.
I'm going to clock this, but I think that Garth would know not to try to have this conversation while Mikey is around.
Yeah. And you see Moore is not even hanging out with you guys. Like he like already got to the lounge, but he's like hanging out with other dudes who are like the guys who are like part of the zombie apocalypse survival club, because they like are like, you know what you do, man? We're here because the world is gonna end someday, and we're just the coolest kids. No one else is gonna live but us, man. Like, they don't get it. They don't get it. Are you wearing a little bit of your blood around your neck? You gotta wear a little vial of your own blood around your neck, dude. And Mora's like buying into this. Mora's like, yeah, man, no, I'm not, dude, but that like makes total sense to me. Like it is this is the people, but there's like a group of them kind of hanging out in the corner of the lounge. And as you kind of head over to the lounge area with Mikey to meet back up with Lash. What are the other two? Are you guys still in the middle of the cafeteria? Steve brings out the food, and it's like a big tray with like mounded of like these chicken breasts. And I will say, it looks bad. This is like unseasoned chicken breast is one of the least desirable meals you can eat. And so it's these just pale white pasty blobs and like a crisp burger with nothing fun on it, and he puts it on the tray for you, and he wrote a little note that says, enjoy, and then you get a tray, Andre, and on your tray in the center is a glorious boat of fries. It looks beautiful. The fries are crisp to perfection. Clearly, this guy is like a decent grill master. Like he knows what he's doing. But on either side of it are new foods he's never made before. One is this like freezer burnt patty that looks like it's so stiff. If you whacked it on something, it would shatter into pieces, kind of like on a bun. And he's like added some like burger materials on there. There's some onion, there's some lettuce and tomatoes. And the other one is this like mishmash of like all the veggies that he like crushed up with like bits of chicken in it on a burger patty. And he's like, you know what? I'm charging you for the fries only. You're helping me experiment with my grill mastery. So the other ones are for free, but I want to see you take a bite into at least one of them to see if you enjoy it. All right, let me see.
Oh, fuck.
I nudge him and go for the one with the chicken. His chicken, fucking bland as
The
shit.
other one doesn't have meat in it. One of them doesn't have meat in it.
I'm gonna take. I'll take the veggie burger, and I'll take like the tiniest bite of the corner that I possibly can.
It is rancid. It is so fucking gross. It doesn't taste like anything except for like a freezer's asshole. Like it is just disgusting. And he's looking at you so expectantly and so excited.
I will try my hardest to swallow the bite, even though I probably want to throw it up. And I'll say, I'm glad I could help you with your mastery. Hopefully, I won't be seeing you again soon. And then I take I'm gonna take a bite of them.
No, you're showing up here tomorrow. I'm doing another veggie burger.
I want to take after that. I want to take a bite of the fry. How tasty is it?
Fucking incredible. These fries are amazing. They're really, really good fries.
Okay, I might be coming back tomorrow.
I grab both of our trays and go, all right, little bro Andre, I'll follow you. You pick our seats.
Is this going to be your lunch with Andre?
Dude, we're having lunch together, bro. You can try one of my chickens if I'm feeling like I don't need the extra calories. But knowing me, I got another 10-mile ride home. And by ride, I mean run.
And if I'm being honest, you're looking a little skinny. I think you actually need the extra chicken to stay up on those gains.
I lean down all the way down to him, being a 7'4" Goliath, and I'm like, I also thought I would fucking getting small, bro. My grandma, she only lets me have 7 scrambles in the morning.
When Reginald cooks for me, if he gives me less than 3 eggs in the morning, I'm famished and I can't go on with the rest of my day. I need to have my 3 eggs.
3? Bro, when I said 7 scramble, I meant 7 dozen.
Oh my god!
No, I assumed that. It definitely looks like you eat 7 dozen eggs a day.
Steve! I need more chicken!
He screams this, and you see your little sister Odette like having a conversation with other people, like clearly like has already made friends, and is like laughing about something, and looks at you and mouths gains, and kind of nods that she's gonna go hang out in the lounge and goes that way with her new friends.
I'm gonna tap him on the chest. Merrick, where? I need
Derek,
information.
Not Merrick, Derek.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Cool.
I need information. Do I see anybody from the Wizard Club that I met?
Yeah, that you met at the activities fair.
Yeah.
If you want to roll a perception check for me, you're welcome to.
17.
17. Yeah, you see that there is kind of like there's a couple sections of this lounge, and it seems like this wizard club has their own like section that they seem like they always sit in, and they're like kind of sitting there and they're laughing and they're like going over books and like, you know, doing wizard stuff.
Eric, what is their
placemats
deal?
are already set out.
Derek, not
Yes, that's what I said. What is their deal?
the nerds?
Sure.
They're just being nerds, dude. They read their books. They understand their books. Books.
And magic. Are they good at it? Are they good at the magic?
Fuck. I mean, I don't really talk to them much, but I've heard they're not the dumbest of nerds.
Okay. I'm learning not to ask things of you.
Hey, whoa, bro.
That's okay.
I know a lot, bro.
I'm sure you know a lot about gains,
Yo.
and I'm sure that comes in very handy for you.
I mean, check out. I just like flex my neck because I'm holding things, so I flex my neck. I'm like, do you not see the biceps growing down?
I don't think that's how biceps work.
Isn't bicep just mean muscle?
Sure, why not? If that's what you want it to mean.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna head over to the lounge? Where are you guys gonna eat? The cafeteria, the
I'm
lounge?
following my new friend Andre.
I want to go talk to the nerds. I mean, the wizards.
Okay,
Right,
cool.
the
So yeah,
nerds.
No, I didn't say that.
the wizards are sitting in like a section of the lounge. We're gonna move over to the lounge area where there's like a lot of different cliques have kind of like found their place here in the lounge. It seems that it's like very divided. There's like a section of seats where the Magic the Gathering nerds play, as a section of the seats where the actual wizards hang out. There's the Zombie Apocalypse Survival Club. There's the artists and the nerds, and like it just kind of does. It seems like the alternative place to hang out, but also that there are many cliques in the umbrella term alternative, essentially. Garth, as you kind of enter, you see that Lash kind of like waves you over with some of these like, art nerds that she's kind of hanging out with. You guys enter and you go to the wizard area, and it seemed like Odette was gonna be like here. Your younger sister Odette was gonna be here eating lunch with some friends, but you actually don't see her anywhere right now. Anyone doing anything?
It's less problems for me.
I look at Andre and go, you want to sit with these boys?
I have a few questions for them, yes.
I plop our food right down, and I like wiggle myself into a chair, realize it's too small, bring over 2 chairs, and I sit in 2 chairs.
How?
You got a big old ass?
Gains, bro.
It's Goliath sized.
Gains!
I got them Goliath gain ass.
Goliath gains.
You gain a point in ass.
Can I gain a... How many points in ass is that now?
What did you roll for your ass stat?
Ass. Okay, so you go to sit down with the wizards, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
I sit with
what
the
do you
wizards
say?
as well then.
What were any of them in my class?
Yeah, it does seem like there was like 1 or 2 of these kids was in your class with you. But there's a lot of these kids that seem like they already know each other. Maybe they've been here for a semester or 2 already. So like it's like a couple new kids hanging out with them, and it's like an established clique kind of already.
I'll sit down and hello, my name is Andre. Please hold your applause. It's fine. We don't need any of that. I'm curious what types of magics you all are.
They did start applauding. They were like, as you came over.
I'm chewing my food, like smacking my own fist with the fork. Like,
you don't even know why yet.
So my friend, fucking Derek here is interested in learning some magic, and he was curious about what types of magics you all learn.
What?
Or no?
yeah, I have like full chicken breast on the fork. I'm like, oh.
They're like, well, I mean, we are wizards, so if your friend here is interested in reading a book, then possibly he could be doing wizarding magic. But...
I reach into my bag. I'm like, I like book. And it's the religious
Killer
book. It's the religious book that I have not read a single page of yet. I'm like,
Upside
yeah,
down,
books are fucking
backwards.
sick, bros.
We are wizards, and so we mostly do wizarding magic. Any other form of magic is really beneath us, quite truly. You understand, being of an elven kind. I mean, your kind basically invented magic. It's the right kind of magic, if you will.
I assumed that was gonna go without saying. I kind of meant more like what specific types of wizarding magic. I'm honestly a little offended that you would think that I would be interested in another type of magic. Clearly, you all missed the lesson on my family. I will try not to take offense to that.
Oh well, no. I mean, no mean to offend you and your namely family. That this is Andre Masman of the Masman tribe, the people who came up with the mage hand cantrip. Yes, of course that is what we know. Well, see, I'm here. I'm interested in abjuration. We have a couple conjuration wizards. Most the crew back there. Hey, what's up, divination? And the divination wizards are like, yes. Like,
Yes, quite.
They actually start to wave just a half second before the guy says, "What's up, divination
exactly.
wizards?"
What's up, divination?
I knew you were going to say that.
All the basic, very dignified forms of wizardry. Because even still, I mean, as you know, there are some forms that are pointless, if you will. It's it's not that they're not as good, but they're not as good. It's conjurations at the top, my friend.
Derek gets like really frustrated. ESJ is like, fuck your magic. My magic's just good as your magic.
Oh, you do magic, do you? That's so cute. Which kind is it? Are you a barbarian? Because raging doesn't really count as magic, sweetie.
I'm not a barbarian, you fucking racist. Just because I'm a Goliath doesn't mean I'm a raging psychopath. I'm a religious man.
Dan, as this conversation is being like held and getting a little bit louder, you do hear this, like, or your group at least hears this dig on barbarian magic that rage isn't really and Moore kind of whips his head around. It's like, I'll show you that rage isn't magic, and he kind of walks over and starts like taking off of his like outer shirt, and Lash is like, no, more. And she starts to run after him, and Mikey's like, oh shit, no, and he kind of gets up too and starts heading over to this kerfuffle that's happening over in the corner.
I guess I'll take a deep breath and then also join.
I take off my suspenders and throw them down to the sides, and I cast Bane on these fucks.
Oh god.
That's a saving throw. So that's a charisma saving throw on 3 of them. Whichever 3 look the biggest pieces of shit.
Okay, cool.
Especially the one talking to me.
Yeah, okay, hang on. What's the DC?
12.
12. Okay, so one of them passes. The first one passes. Second one passes. And the third one is going to... what'd you say this was? Charisma?
Yeah.
The third one fails.
I look at them and go, yeah, look at your boy over there. Fucking can't even stand straight.
What does your Bane look like?
My Bane is literally just me flexing my muscles. And it's like so intimidating that like little bits of sweat just like get in their eyes.
Oh god!
Yikes!
Just
this one is kind of sitting and he's loopy. He's like, "Why, Hotter? I will fight you. Just come here, and let me fight you."
Bro, you come here, bro. You want to dance? I'll fucking dance. I'll bring you downtown and bring you to the club and dance all night.
Here's the thing. It's just a fact. It's a known fact. We have the best magics. And that's when Moore kind of busts in. He's like, oh, rage isn't proper magic, dude?
Yeah, bro, I'm with you on that. Rage is magic just as much as my magic. Fuck their magic.
Moore's gonna go into a rage, and he punches like a metal wall, like right next to there's like window paneling and these metal kind of panelings up the windows, and he punches this like metal bit, and it like dents it, and kind of you hear like a creak, and he's like, "If rage isn't real magic, bro, I'll show you rage magic," and he is getting hype.
Can I like high five, like grip his hand, like bring him in, like fuck yeah, bro, I'm feeling you, I'm on you, I'm with you.
Yeah, he reciprocates. He is stronger than you in this moment, so it does definitely knock the wind out of you a little bit.
Oh yeah, bro, brings me back to football.
Oh, yeah.
Is he gonna does it seem like he's about to cause danger, or they're just like throwing it out now and it's cool?
I don't know. I mean, there's still kind of heated here. There's kind of tensions that are rising. The wizards are kind of like bending down and looking like they're charging up for something. Andre, what are you doing in this whole situation that you kind of caused?
These elves just remind me too much of my family. I don't. I mean, I'm also waiting to see what Derek does. I'm kind of intrigued. It might be entertaining if he goes and fights them. It could be kind of funny.
Oh, bro, I'll fight them right now, bro. If you want.
No,
me.
I don't. I don't doubt you wouldn't. I would expect nothing less.
The fight kind of seems to be escalating. The tensions seem to be escalating between at least this like handful of these wizarding guys and more and Derek. Yes, Dan.
Garth will step in if it seems like it's escalating, and he's going to. I guess I don't know. On the assumption that Mikey and Lash are kind of like right nearby, I think he would probably just like, kind of like not even trying to like step in between, but rather come up behind more and be like, dude, please don't make shit happen for us on the first day. Like, it's the first fucking day, dude. Please.
You can't tell me what to do, man. Can't tell me what to do anymore. We are not at home. Ugh.
Yeah, we're not at home, bro.
Some of us with your lesser magic. No magics is better than wizarding magic. And he like goes to throw his hands in the air. And as he does this, a eldritch blast rings through the crowd and just across, like knocking down some of these wizards, definitely blowing past all of you people. And you look, and there is this group of like dark, broody, kind of dripping in this like sex appeal group of people who have like held up an arm, and they're like, I'm sorry, did you have something to say about other forms of magic? Because that was just a cantrip, baby.
I lean down to Andre. I'm like, the fucking sexy emo warlocks.
Andre, you see that your sister is standing amongst the warlocks.
That's not surprising to me. I'm gonna take a step back and say, well, this was fun. I can tell that the warlocks definitely had a blast. I'm gonna take my leave now.
Bro, you
Nice.
can't just end it
Nice.
here, bro. You have to help us decide, bro. You're my friend.
As you're backing
I
up,
am.
as you say, I am, you bump into somebody's like, oh, so you're friends with all these people? Is that what you're saying here? Who's the cause? Who's the cause of this moment?
That fucker right there, bro. That puny
Dumbledore?
pencil toothpick motherfucker saying my magic's not good.
Okay, we have big feelings here, don't we? That is very interesting. I'm going to need you all to break it the fuck up. And he like pushes his hands down and out, and you feel this like force kind of pushing you away from this moment. And he's like, okay, so to my understanding, the wizards have decided to be wizards. The paladin has decided to act like a paladin. The barbarian needs to drop his rage, sir, please, not in the hallways. And more just kind of like, and drops his rage. And then he turns to you and he's like, I'm having a hard time figuring out your role in all of this. He's looking at you, Andre. Do you have something you'd like to say for the part you played here today?
I wouldn't say I played a part. I was simply, being inquisitive as a student does, and things escalated beyond my control. If anything, I think I should be reprieved of the situation. I don't see how. I don't find any fault of my own.
This wizard, or this person, bends down, gets close to your face, looks at you, and goes, You are weak. You are weak-willed with a small, broken heart. And he gets up and walks away.
Yo, bro, did he give you some words of wisdom?
Something like that.
Dude, I bet it was a good
I need to
pep
go.
talk.
I need to go, and I'm gonna go back to my room.
Yo,
Okay,
can I call
cool. Andre is not even
Must
responding,
you?
I'm sure. He just turns and walks away.
him? Yo, catch you at dinner, bro. More chicken.
Steve, as you say more chicken, Stevie throws a chicken into your hand.
Do I catch it?
Yeah.
I'm a man,
Cool.
Steve.
Do you do anything before you leave this moment, Garth?
I think he's just keeping an eye on more in this moment. I mean, I feel like probably the chance to like have some quality time with Lash has kind of passed, unfortunately. But so he's just trying to like eat his fucking lunch, and like it's not been a great morning for Garth.
The school days goes on. It seems like Garth does more school day. Does Derek do more school day?
Yeah, I probably have another class.
Andre, do you skip the rest of the entire day?
I'm gonna go, but try to keep a very low profile.
Okay, cool. You guys go and do the rest of your school days. I would actually like all of you to roll just like a basic like intelligence check to see just like how you do for the day.
Is intelligence really what I would be rolling for?
I know. That's a plus
My
0 for
thing.
us.
Okay,
We all
fine,
roll.
fine. Andre can roll intelligence. Dan, you can roll survival. And Bert, you can roll athletics. No, I'm sorry. You're doing religion classes.
Wait, can I
Hang
do
on,
Arcana?
Can I roll
You have
religion?
You can roll religion.
Okay.
You know, it was a silly question on my part anyway because I rolled a natural 2.
Can I roll Arcana?
This guy is also
Yeah,
going to dice
you can roll
jail.
Arcana.
15.
Jake, what'd you get?
15.
15. Yeah, you do a decent job of like keeping your head down, but mostly because you're like barely retaining a lot from class today. It's syllabus day, so it doesn't matter as much. Bert, what'd you get?
A nice even 10.
A what?
A 10.
A 10. Yeah, with a 10, you're a little too riled up from the events earlier today. And, like, you know, your magic coming into question, is that ever something that you really cared about before? Because, you know, as a paladin, you've had a couple magical abilities that you can do, but it's also maybe been really about the physicality of it for you for most of your life because you were a football player down south at a different college before you got transferred to being up here. So the
Totally.
defensiveness about your magic, does that feel new to you?
It's not that like I hold my magic with pride, but I mean if he even mentioned me being small in a way that
Yeah, but he
wasn't
didn't,
caring
you
like
know, it's
Andre,
about-
because Andre cared. He was like, I just think you need to have a couple more protein. But if they said it, I bet it would have been like, yo, you fucking small-necked Goliath. I bet you can't even lift 50 pounds with that neck. And I would have been insulted.
Yeah, so you were still, you know, but I'm just, you know, the getting in tune with your magic side I'm just saying, is it newer to feel defensive about your magic for Derek?
Yeah, that was a first time thing. Like I've never
Definitely a first for you.
Yeah, I've never been really defensive about magic. Always just defensive about my team and my gains.
Andre, how do you think that this older man's voice ringing in your ears, like, are you still holding on to what he just said to you earlier in the day? Like, how do you feel about it?
I mean, it's probably not the first time somebody said something very mean to me. So it's not he probably holds on to it for a little bit. And I've probably by like, I don't know, what do I have, 5 periods in the day? By 3rd, 4th period, I'm probably already thinking of how I'm gonna prove this person wrong. Like I'm like the show I'm gonna put on to be like, fuck you, I'm an awesome wizard.
Yeah, okay, cool. But you saw it as him being mean to you and not as him stating a fact about you. You just saw it as him kind of picking on you.
Yeah, it was like when it's like what my parents used to say. It's like what my parents used to say to me. Like they just, yeah, like my parents were mean to me, so it's just like my parents giving me shit for not being good at conjuration magic. So
yeah, your older sister has said way worse things to you.
Yeah, more frequently too. Like this guy wasn't even that creative. And as a matter of fact, he's probably not even that good of a wizard. I mean, if we're being honest, I could probably beat him in a duel of wizardry. I wouldn't do that because it would look bad on my family if I were to steep so low as to use violence against a teacher. But without a doubt in my mind, I could probably kill this man if I wanted to. And with that, like, it's already out of my mind. Any insult is already gone.
And as you're having these thoughts to yourself, your older sister Giselle, who doesn't go to this school, texts you, "You will never be as smart as me, and you're still a virgin, lol.
um, I text back, go fuck yourself.
That's all you know how to do.
Yeah.
Garth, with a 2,
It's an adjusted 6.
okay, with a
Stop.
6 for the rest of your day. I would say that you're probably in your own. I mean, like, these classes, like how the first class went. These classes start, and you're like, this is a lot of information I already have. You start getting the feeling with class on class that, like, with each minute in the class, even, that this is going to be a lot of relearning things that you got from your practical experience in the field. I mean, you're 27 years old. These classes are still kind of designed for 18-year-olds, which is, frustrating about it. And you are paying attention less and less with each minute and each passing class, and you're retaining a little bit less of it by the end of the day. You're really like, you could not tell somebody what you learned today because you didn't learn anything. You just kind of stopped in the middle of the day caring about this because, I mean, maybe it's a lot of stuff you don't need to learn. Maybe this is stuff that you know how to do already. And your feeling going into this of, there's something else and I want to learn more and do other things, is maybe ringing a little bit more true. Like, how do you think you're feeling right now as these classes go by?
Definitely, yeah, like as you described, I think there's a certain apathy, but also an anxiety about that apathy. Because, like, at least when something's interesting, it's doable, even if it's hard. But if it's not even interesting, then it's a real slog, even if it wasn't going to, even if it was, even more of a slog than it would have been already. And so I think he's like I think he's probably having a hard time focusing. And I think he's probably like fidgeting a lot. And I think he's probably, I don't know, he might have to go burn some steam.
Yeah. And that's kind of the day.
Burn some steam? Let off steam.
Yo, burn some steam, bro?
Burn some steam.
Meet me in the gym, bro. There's a machine for that.
That's the thing, though. I don't think that
sounds
Garth...
like a euphemism for vaping. I'm gonna go burn some steam.
But I don't think that Garth goes to the gym, and it's not like he's an asshole about it. It's just that like being around trees and grass and stuff has just always been better for him, and what facilitates, the kind of energy he needs to be active. And so he.
Cool. So do you go? So this whole campus is surrounded by woods. Do you go towards the woods at all? Do you try to go into the woods?
I think that it's like meadow is fine if there's any clearing before the woods. And he'll only go shallowly into the woods. But if there's a track path, he won't just fucking, you know what I mean? He's not just gonna go forage. It's not like a ranger, Yeah,
I mean, you walk up to where there's a big field kind of in the back of the school, which does look over the parking lot that is kind of closed off right now for whatever reason. This is the parking lot's down here, the field's up here, the woods kind of goes like this, it's still all surrounding. You're walking here and you're kind of walking alongside the woods, and it doesn't necessarily seem like there's this is the path to go into the woods. There's a lot of the trees are really, really close to each other. There's almost rarely a gap or no gap. But you do see as you're walking along, a small kind of it does seem like there was a path there at one point.
Yeah, I'll just go in. I'll go in a little bit.
Okay, you go in shallowly. As you enter the woods, it feels like noise behind you is cut off.
Awesome.
And it is just kind of quiet here. And there's not really a clearing. This path has really been grown over. There's a lot of trees popped up and foliage on the ground and gnarled roots and branches. But if you kind of just stand here in this area for a moment, if you'd like to roll me some kind of you probably survival or perception check, or
I was gonna say it's probably a wisdom. I think this is I love what you just described, because I feel like that is the feeling that Garth is always seeking when he like steps into the woods. Is like a kind of quieting of the soul and everything else.
Yeah.
And so, I'll roll a survival check. Yeah, all he needs is a pull-up tree, a punching tree, a couple trees nearby to jump back and forth between. He's good to go.
And a giving tree.
Another natural 2. And this guy's also going to jail.
Wow, is that the third
Six.
nat 2 today?
No, it was a nat 1, a nat 16, a nat 2, and a nat 2.
Oh,
You have any
okay.
dice left?
So with your nat 2, or what is your 2 roll? What is it? What is it? It's a 6. Okay. So with your 2, and what were you rolling? Perception or
Survival.
Survival. Okay.
I think it's. Oh no, yeah, because I'm not proficient in Oh wait, I am. Yeah, no, it's the same. It's the same check.
Okay. So, but which one is it? Perception or survival?
I was rolling survival, but it's
Okay.
a 6.
But that's fine. It just depends on. So with your survival, you.
I'm trying to find the right tree. I gotta find like the right tree,
Well,
find the
you
right
enter the
kind of
woods.
tree.
You enter the woods and you start looking around at the trees, and you go to touch some of the bark on one of these trees, and as you touch it, and like roll a dexterity check.
A check or a save?
Save.
Ooh.
What's going on?
16 for a 19.
Okay, cool. So you'll only take half. That would have been serious. So it was 11, but you're gonna take half of that. So it'll be 5 points of damage. As you touch this tree and move your hand back, and your hand is like sliced up as if the bark was made of like razor blade.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I am going to. Yeah. Does it seem like? If I look around now, does all the trees seem like that?
You can't see razor blades on the tree. It still looks like bark, but when you touched it, it came off like you had been sliced in just these places where the bark was on your hand. The trees all do look like this, like really kind of like it's like a gray brown color. Like it is like closer to gray than it is to brown. And they are tall and gnarled, and sometimes it's hard to tell where one tree ends and another tree begins.
I am going to try and get out of here.
Cool. You turn around and you didn't go very far into the woods, so you can see where you can exit from, but it is like all of a sudden, all at once, bad. Like it's like difficult terrain, and it is like cold and hot in here, and it feels like you are being pushed out by some force on your back, and you trip and kind of tumble out of the woods. And as you like kind of fall out and like kind of sprawl out on the ground, there's a shadow that comes above you, and you see Lash, who's like, "What the hell are you doing falling out of the woods?"
I don't like to actually go to the gym.
So you were gonna just walk into the woods, and she like grabs your hand to like lift you up. And as she, grabs your hand, she's like, "Oh my God, you're bleeding."
It's cool. The bark was sharp. It's weird.
That is weird. Why
I'm
don't
trying to find a good pull-up tree, but
they have pull-up bars in the gym. Why don't you come with me to my dorm, and I will help get iodine and whatever on these cuts, and we'll heal you up. Come on.
Yes, nurse.
And she kind of heads back to the dorms with you. Yeah, what do you think the other, like, as the day's ending, what do you think the end of your days are like, Andre and Derek?
Derek is definitely taking full advantage of the fact that students are allowed in the gym until late into the night, until the gym closes. And he's probably getting some good squats in. It's the first day of the week. You gotta do leg day early. Tomorrow.
Something I even know all about.
Well, because if you do the upper body today, tomorrow you're gonna be sore, and no one wants to do leg day, but you gotta do leg day. So you do leg day first, so that tomorrow when you're like, you know what, don't really feel like working out, but I'm gonna get that sick upper body workout. I'm gonna get the bench presses going, some pull-ups. Gonna get the rowing machine in for the cardio. Maybe do like 2 hours of the Jacob's ladder. Just like a minor workout on Tuesdays.
The video fades to black, and the rest of the session is just Bert describing more and more workouts.
I'm just like putting on like as much weight as possible, doing squats, like a ton of squats.
So this character runs to school 10 miles in the morning, does his whole day of classes, and then works out in the evening. What, about 4 or 5 hours?
It's a solid 5.5 hour workout.
A solid 5.5 hours, and then has to run home another 10 miles in the dark to get to his grandparents' house.
I gotta get home for second dinner because otherwise Granny and Poppy, they're not going to be able to get their dinner because I'm always in charge of second dinner. They have first dinner without me.
No, you get home. No way. You get home after they go to bed every night. There's no way.
They're not going to bed. They're in
stop.
bed.
Why have you made this choice?
While I'm eating my finally seasoned chicken, which is how I finish my day, is I finally have a nice seasoned chicken. They're doing the funky chicken.
So that's unfortunate.
Every day.
So you're working out. Why don't you roll me an athletics check to see how you do?
With advantage, because, like, I'm Derek.
No. Did I say you could get an advantage?
Damn it. That's a 10.
What'd you get?
That's a 10. Natural 4 to an adjusted 10.
Yeah, with a 10, I mean, this whole day has been really rough for you, and you thought that you could cap it out with something you're good at, which is like, a workout, but you're just not doing a good job at it.
Oh my God, I forgot to take my bags off again.
Yeah, you're doing it with your bags on. So it's definitely like affecting you in a really negative way. And it's taking you a lot longer to like do the gym than you usually, like you said, you usually do a solid, easy 5.5 hours at the gym. You've probably been here now for closer to 6 hours, maybe 6.5 as you're wrapping up. Like that's a crazy sentence I just said, but it is
only crazy if you're not DMJ, baby. I'm just out here getting my gains.
Yeah, and you are definitely, like you're here for a long chunk of the night. We're gonna move on to Andre for a second. Andre, what do you think you're eating after school?
Since it seems like nobody at this school seems to be able to help me with any type of useful information, I will, on my own, go to the library on campus and start looking at wizarding books. And I want to see if they have anything on the topic of the Fae.
Of the Fae, okay.
Oh, so sorry, I guess not wizarding books. I just want if there's anything
history
in the history
books
about Fae. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you roll me a history check? As you you get to the library a little bit after school. There's this like older, this like librarian there who's actually not like a classic older librarian trope. It's just kind of a young person who you recognize as the person who lives across from you in your dorm that you read into in the towel this morning. And she sees you and goes, "Oh, why are you here?"
To do what everyone does at the library. Read. Why else would I be here?
I just I saw it in a towel and I just thought that you were, here's a key, and she gives you like a key card to like get into some of the computers and facilities in the library.
You are the first person here that's been useful. That has been helpful to me. Thank you. Not useful, helpful. I say helpful. Useful sounds bad.
No,
Sounds
cool.
like
I
what
mean,
Andre
I'm
would say.
useful. I'll take that. I'm. No one's ever called me useful before.
Yeah, I don't give out compliments often, so.
Oh, was that a compliment?
I, bye.
Cool. So what'd you get for your history check?
An 11.
An 11.
Yeah, we are not rolling
Yeah.
well today.
So it takes you a while. You definitely this is a school's library, so there's a lot of like basics and texts and normal fiction books, and you're trying to like comb through to find the section on the Fae first and foremost. Like, you know how you're like trying to research and you're like researching around a topic, but you're having a hard time like pinpointing exactly the things that you're looking for, and you're just kind of like circling, and you're reading more books, and there seems like with every book you read, you're maybe getting like a light clue about it, but most books just mention, and then the Fae cease to exist, and then the Fae were elves, and then it's the elves, and there's like not a lot of like history books on the history of the Fae, or even a lot of details on what happened between like how the Fae became elves, and why there's a weird bad blood, or at least that's existed in your family for a while in talking about your Fae ancestry. You end up like, I would say that like toward the end of all of this, what you really kind of walk away with is that this library does not necessarily have the books you're looking for. And that's weird. This is a whole ass library, and they don't have anything on the history of the Fae. Like, where is that? Why isn't that here? This is a school, theoretically. But you're here for a very long time as well. You're here a similar, probably the same length that Garth is at the gym. You are here at the library.
I'm getting those mental
Derek's at the gym. Garth would never.
Sorry, Derek's at the gym. I don't know why, but my brain really wants to do that. So just
it's
be
because
warned.
we both used gravelly voiced characters.
Exactly.
Well, not only, but like Garth,
I can use
Jim, they
gravelly
both begin
voice
with
too.
J.
So yeah, so as long as Derek was at the gym before,
What?
all of that was bad. So yes, Garth.
I'm really hoping that this could be a good time that I could have a talk with Lash while she's patching me up.
Sure. Yeah. What do you want to say to her?
Well, I think he's kind of playing it cool. You just start off.
She's like working on your palm, and she like kind of chuckles and is like, "Yeah, your lifeline got cut in half just now, so probably means you're gonna die soon."
Hey, then maybe I wouldn't have to pass these classes.
But lucky you, your love line is definitely still intact. And then she like traces the line of your love line on your hand.
Chills. No, I think that he would probably start off like, so how was Rage 103 today?
Oh, yeah, the Rage class was it was interesting. They're definitely. Hang on, sorry. You guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry, all of your screens froze.
I think we were all just really.
We're all just listening in rapt attention.
No, they really did freeze, but that's fine. I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, she kind of pauses. She's like, "Yeah, Rage was it was Rage class. Like it was syllabus day, so I didn't need to. There was not a lot of rage happened."
Are you gonna make me re-roll, even though I've already known she's kind of like bullshitting me, or?
You know that she's kind of bullshitting you right now.
Yeah. So then I think he's gonna like nod, and then I think he might even like close his hand just the tightest bit, around hers and be like, "You ever think about like not getting your license?"
Look, I've always been interested in being the toughest girl in our family's business for a while now. When we were growing up, I was the Pink Ranger. I was the girl in the group, and I was I was excited to fulfill a role as being a strong woman, and that felt like something I really wanted to do for a very long time. But something changed that over the summer, and I don't really know what it means, and I honestly don't really want to talk about it. But right now I'm here. Theoretically I'm getting my license. That's kind of the best I can do.
Well, I guess theoretically, so am I. But I don't think you're ever going to stop being a strong woman.
Hey, look, I was invited by some people down to a party in the courtyard of the dorms tonight. You're welcome to tell Mikey, but I think we'd all have a good time if you didn't tell more.
Got it.
We'll see you later. And
Thanks for the
she
help.
kind of like leads you out of her room. She is like, seems like she has work that she's gonna do. And you probably make dinner, and we get to the same kind of point of the night where Derek is leaving the gym and Andre is leaving the library. And Lash knocks on your door after she eats dinner and kind of like waves, and Mikey and you sneak out and don't tell more and go to this like courtyard party, which is like
Garth has put on a fresh t-shirt without grease.
Ungreased t-shirt.
An ungreased t-shirt.
Wait, there's a party
Oh, you
tonight?
got all dolled up just for me.
Yeah, and as Andre, as you're walking back toward the dorm, you see this like big kind of party taking place like right in front of the building, like on this kind of quad. And Derek, as you're kind of like walking out of campus, you pass the building as well, and you see that there's like a bunch of your classmates and people and it's not just kids who live at the dorm like hanging out in front of the dorms right now, having a grand old time, having kind of what seems like a bit of a party. Lots of like water bottles with like liquid in it that probably isn't alcohol, but is definitely alcohol, because this is happening like right in front of the dorm rooms.
Plausibly deniable alcohol.
Plausibly deniable alcohol everywhere.
When Derek sees this, he goes back to the gym, finds the locker that they have personally reserved for him because he's there so often, puts all five... No. He puts some of his bags, and by that he means just his backpack and his footballs.
But sir, those are my emotional support bags.
He puts his backpack and football bag into the locker, but he keeps his weapon bag, his snack bag, and his meal bags on his hips.
Okay.
As well as like one of his Gatorades like pocketed, and he changes his school suspenders out for his party suspenders, which have like little reflective pieces right in line with the nipples. They look like buckles, but they're really just reflective tape. They have no buckle. There's no buckle actual aspect to them. And then he's ready to go join this shindig.
Cool. Andre, what are you doing as you walk up and you see all these people just partying outside the dorm?
I'll go check it out, but I don't want to I'm gonna stick to the outskirts of the party for a second. I'm just kind of interested as to what it is people do at college parties.
If Andre's sticking to the outskirts, can I see if I notice him coming late to the party?
I think that, yeah, as you're coming late to the party, you do kind of see Andre kind of like very awkwardly standing on the edge of the party, kind of just staring at people. Like, just
Hardcore
people watching.
Exactly.
I rush him, and I'm like, "Yo, new friend!" And I'm like, "Yo, bro, ain't this fucking crazy? First night, people raging. It's a baller. Mommy and Poppy, they'll fucking see me when they want to see me. I'll get home after my 10-mile run after I fucking dance the night away, bro."
I'm amazed at how many words you just said that I don't understand.
Yo, do you want a granola bar?
Sure.
I reach into my little fanny pack and pull out one half-eaten, one non-eaten granola bar. I put them forward to him, and I'm like, "Which one you want, bro?"
I'll take the full one.
I hand him the full granola bar, and I offer to cheers the granola bars to each other.
I make sure I hit him with the wrapper, not the part of the granola bar I'm actually about to eat.
No, roll a luck check to see. I'm kidding.
If you do,
Oh,
in
was it
fact,
funny?
if you
Good,
do,
good.
I wasted my one good roll tonight.
Exactly.
if you do in fact eat that, you gain 2 temporary hit points.
Yeah, I mean he'll eat it.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hang on. Did you roll the d4? Because they can roll their own d. No, that was your proficiency.
No. This you don't roll for. It's just a flat d.
Got it.
It's just a flat 2 based on my proficiency bonus.
Got it.
That's due to my chef feat.
So as the kind of party kind of starts, Garth, what do you think you're doing? You think you're hanging out with Mikey? Lash is like, kind of like started talking to some friends and.
Yeah, I think he's just like kind of feeling awkward about being probably like slightly older than most of the people there. But like, because he's got a youthful look, he's not like too worried about like being creepy, but like looking creepy, but he's still worried about being creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's probably just like mostly chatting with Mikey and like just like trying to like not bump into anybody.
Yeah. Mikey's definitely, having a good time. He's like, look, I mean, the thing is, these kids, are we allowed to show that we're drinking because we're over the age of 21? I mean, is like the dry dorm for us too? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me that I shouldn't have to drink. And he's like just drinking out of a beer. Yeah. So the party kind of goes on. And people are definitely like hanging out. The dorms are kind of close to the woods, to the edge of the woods. Most of this is kind of close to the edge of the woods. The woods really surrounds the whole campus. And as you guys are kind of here partying, there are some people who are like laying on the ground and they're like ripping up like handfuls of grass and like throwing them up in the air like confetti. And you can tell that they're probably kind of high and they're just like, we are all live and we can pluck the grass out of the ground. And they're like flinging like fistfuls of grass up and around them as they kind of dance around in a circle. And you, does anyone do anything?
I look at Andre, I'm like, those dudes are chumps. Only drug I need is gains.
So they keep like kind of throwing this grass up and like dancing around, and you kind of see that there's like a wind almost picking up as it kind of like swirls around these people as they dance. And as they throw these like fistfuls of grass kind of like into the air, and the wind kind of really starts picking up, and the grass kind of starts making these like whipping kind of tornado almost effect. And then you see as this like the grass kind of like is like moving on its own, almost a electric shock or something comes from out of the woods and like runs through this like pile, this like grass that's like whipping in the air. And as it's shocked with this shock, the grass like falls to the ground for a second and it's still for a moment. Does anyone do anything?
I put my hand on my weapon, seeing the electric shock, always ready to fucking throw down when something's happening.
Is this Odette pulling some shit?
Do you want to roll an insight check?
10.
Can I roll insight?
Yeah, anyone's welcome to roll insight.
Oh, it was insight?
Yeah.
It might be different.
Oh shit.
I'll try.
That's a 22.
22?
First
What'd you
good
get?
roll of the night.
Oh, it was actually an 8.
It was actually an 8? You get a nat 20?
8.
Yes.
Yeah! First nat 20 of the season!
So, with an 8, Andre, you are a little too, like, you're watching people party and not paying, like, you're watching the people who seem like they're high on drugs, and you're not really registering anything that would be interesting about them besides the fact that, like, oh, that is a person on drugs.
This is that party thing that everyone talked about in high school that I never got invited to.
You never got invited to. with you and your 3 friends. Derek, as you're kind of partying, you are like, you're checking out this like the grass that just fell to the ground, and you kind of see it's still moving in kind of like a ripple form, and as it moves, it's pulling up more grass from the ground, and it's like shaking, and it is like kind of like coming to life almost. And before you, jumping and springing forth, is a grass golem, who is a giant creature made out of these pieces of grass that were ripped from the ground. And you see that like something about like there's like shinier pieces of grass in the big thing of grass that had to exist to make this thing happen, and that probably is what happened from the woods. Dan or Garth, you're looking around with your nat 20, and you see these people who are on drugs, and you realize they are not high at all. There's something going on here, and they knew what they were doing as they were ripping and chanting, ripping the grass out of the ground and chanting about the grass and how they are one with the grass. And they are putting on a show right now for whatever reason. And as you look at them, they don't look like students you've seen at the school, and they don't look like the stoners who are across the courtyard doing their own thing. The druggies are doing something else across the courtyard. All of you can roll initiative.
Oh shit! Fake druggies. That is a 16. Initiative?
Hang on.
Yeah. Oh my god, this is insane.
I'm ready to fight.
Yo, we got all of our bad rolls out before. We got this now.
I hope so.
Okay, Bert, what'd you get?
I rolled a 16.
Dan?
12.
Jake?
23.
Ooh! Okay, hang on. Jake being a good roller? What's happening?
No, it's that plus intelligence mod.
Why'd you have to ruin it for me, Dan? I did roll a 17. It wasn't a bad roll.
That's not a bad roll at all. Hopefully it continues during the actual fighting.
When it doesn't matter, I can roll really well. I've been super distracted out the window. They're plowing, and I like the blinking lights. Very cool.
Stop playing with all of your lights and stuff, guys. You're gonna change all of this. When I have to make this cut, all of a sudden both of you are gonna have different lightings.
Are you ready?
All right.
Hey, Bert, fuck your continuity.
The continuity is already ruined because we have to do a bad.
My cat is here to fuck your continuity.
Okay, cool. So this there's this kind of big courtyard splayed out where there are other students. This grass golem is kind of centered in like one kind of half of the area. I would say that you guys are all definitely within 30 feet of it. And that's going to be Andre, your first turn. You were like staring at these people who summoned this, or these people who were causing this thing theoretically. Now there's this big monster here. What are you doing?
Are they all like? I guess like they're not coincidentally like all in a line, are they?
Well, there's this big grass golem, and then there are these people who are kind of like, they're like, you didn't pick up on the information that Garth did, that these people are suspicious at all. You still think that these are people who are high, and they are kind of looking like, oh no, what has happened? Golem?
Sounds convincing to me. And in that case, I'm just gonna cast a firebolt at it.
Okay.
And also walk as far away from it as I can. I only got an 11 to hit.
Okay? That does not hit. Is that it?
That's my turn. I walk away and I cast a firebolt at
it. You back up and cast a firebolt. Okay, cool.
And I go, our party's always. I say to Derek, our party's always this violent.
Only if they're good ones, bro.
Andre, how far do you back up?
I got 30 feet, so let's just use the whole 30.
Okay, cool. This thing is going to kind of like look around for a moment, and then it's going to look over at you, Derek, clearly the tallest, biggest thing here, and it is going to run up toward you and slam down its hand at you, kind of like, swings it like this.
Yeah, fuck you, bro. I could slam too.
You smash? Do you smash, bro?
Yo, you smash? I smash. Just got done with my fucking 6-hour workout with my bags on.
That is going to be a... Sorry, hang on. DMs have to look at stats too.
DMs, they're just like you.
That's only a... Oh, no, wait, hang on. Yeah, there we go. That is going to be a 15 on the first hit.
That does not hit.
Okay, it's going to try again because it does not like you. And that's not going to hit either because my dice don't like me.
I'm literally just like, because I'm now 2 bags down, I'm so nimble that I'm just like, what? You want to fucking go, bro? I'm just fucking right here, bro. Just like constantly antagonizing him and dodging every little bit because he's such a slow dumpster.
Okay, cool. That is going to be Derek, your turn.
Sweet. I am going to channel divinity to use my vow of enmity to give advantage on all attacks against this ass grass.
This ass grab?
Yeah,
Ass grass.
This grass is ass, and his ass is about to be grass.
I hope he's better.
I hit him in his grassy ass.
I hit him in his grassy ass. And you can
You know
then
what they
say,
say?
grassy ass.
Grasses to grasses.
That's fantastic.
And then I will... Channel Divinity is a bonus action, isn't it?
It depends
Yeah.
on the action, so it would be in your subclass, but with this particular
This
Channel
one's a
Divinity, it
bonus
would
action.
likely be a bonus action, yeah.
I can't do 2 bonus actions, can I?
No,
No.
you may not.
Alright, then I'm gonna pull out my Morning Star, and I'm gonna fucking bash this grass! That is a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And the damage... Wow! 15 damage.
Okay, cool.
That's almost perfect damage. I rolled a 5 and a 6 on the 2d6.
Yeah, you are almost
2d6?
perfect.
Yeah, Morningstar is 2d6.
Okay, cool. This thing kind of like, as you like actually get its ass out. That's gonna be Garth, your turn.
Yeah, Garth is on my nat 20. Am I able to tell who is if there is a ritual caster in charge, or do they all seem just kind of whatever?
With your nat 20, you know something about Golem. You know that inside this Golem has to be a crystal, and someone in this crowd is holding the other half of that crystal and is telepathically communicating and having it move and do its actions.
Right, but not likely that. So, but it does. But of the people that I saw doing the grass thing, did it seem like maybe one of them was in charge, or I would have to find? I'd have to
You
find
would
the
not
person.
have an easy. You would not. No, not on that roll. You would not be able to figure out which one it is.
Well, and the crowd. It's like we're a party full of people, aren't we?
Yep.
All right. I think. Damn, this is a tactical error that Garth realizes he's made in this moment, is to not know ahead of time what assets and abilities his allies have access to, anyone around him for that matter.
Also, I just realized I was misspeaking. I don't have a Morningstar. I have a Maul.
You have a
That's
Maul.
why you thought the damage was wrong.
What's good? What is the deal with a maul?
It's a
We can talk
2d6
about that
bludgeoning
off
weapon.
table. We can talk about that off
Ridiculous.
table.
Yeah, I think I just don't know how Garth would communicate this information he has, or if he would at all. Like, there's no shot at finding the. I guess I'm gonna. I would like to see if I can perceive if anyone's like looks like they're concentrating on something. Is that cool?
Yeah, you wanted to perceive?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I would like to try to see if I can see someone who looks like they are controlling this golem telepathically. And I think that might include like looking up at rooftops, maybe too, like not just in the crowd, but also in the crowd. That's only a 13.
13. Yeah, you look out into the crowd, and there's a lot of people here right now, and these people who you kind of realize weren't actually high seem like they were maybe involved a little bit, but none of them necessarily seem like the people who are controlling anything right now. So it's you're having a hard time pinpointing exactly who's controlling this thing.
Okay. Does that count as my action?
Yes.
Okay. Garth is going to make a mental note of these grass rippers. And I will take a bonus action I'll take my movement to get up in the mix with Derek.
Okay.
And
bro, you ready
fly
to
into a
fight?
rage. But his rage is like he does like a lot of really deep, really chesty breaths, and like you can see his muscles tense and his eyes begin to dilate.
Cool.
He
That's
rushes up there.
Back up to Andre.
I am going to I'm gonna sorry, I'm stuck between a couple ideas. I'm just gonna cast so I'm gonna take my as I am now further back, I'm gonna lift my finger, and in the ring this like lightning starts to crackle, and like lightning it forms into a ball and shoots out towards the creature, and I am going to make the golem. I'm gonna make a spell attack. It's a nat 20.
Oh,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
sorry. You're trying to be casual.
Wait,
and
whoa.
ready.
How casual are you just rolling that? Are you just that good today?
I mean,
Only today, though.
I am great all the time. I don't know why you guys are making such a big deal of this. It's very embarrassing for you two. This is nothing out of the ordinary.
All right. What do you?
Target takes 1 of lightning
just
damage.
for edification, the way that a nat 20 is going to work is you're going to take the full amount of what your damage dice would roll, plus the rolls of all of those dice, add it all together, plus your modifier once. If you need your modifier, this is a spell, so I don't think you do. And that is how you do crit. This is not, I did not invent this way. I'm borrowing this from a friend who I think borrowed it from another creator.
So that does 17 points of lightning damage.
Total?
Nice.
Total, yeah. So
totally.
It's a d12 plus 12.
Cool.
As it gets damaged, and I how far away am I from it?
You backed up, right? So you're like 60 feet away from it.
So
yeah, but didn't it move up on top of me and I was with Andre?
Oh yes, and
like
you were
30 feet.
like 30. So yeah, it's probably like 30 feet.
I'm gonna stay 30 feet away from it.
Okay.
So that'll be my turn.
That is going to be its turn. It is going to start by trying to hit Derek, who did damage to it last time, right?
Did a ton of damage.
That is going to be 22 points of 22 to hit.
Yeah, that fucking hits.
I'm gonna use my reaction as this monster goes to hit Derek, and as it opens itself up, take another swing at it.
Okay.
Ooh, Sentinel.
With my long sword. That's right, baby. Sentinel.
Ooh.
You're still gonna take 10 points of damage, Derek.
Okay.
That's an 18 to hit.
18 is going to hit.
Okay. Sweet. D10 roll for that two-handed. Fucking 2 on the die. That's going to be 6 points of slashing damage.
And actually, I'm going to use my Stone's Endurance to see if I can nullify some of that damage.
Cool. It's going to swing down at you, Garth, as you swing at it.
I'm going to... I can only use one reaction. I need the Stone's Endurance.
It's going to be 17 to hit, Garth.
17 hits.
Cool. You're going to take... Not that bad. Only 7 points of damage.
Is that already halved?
No, that's not halved. So that'll be
3 points of bludgeoning
3
damage.
points of damage.
Let's go.
Nice.
Okay, cool. That's going to be
Damage.
Derek's turn.
Okay. I am going to bonus action cast Hunter's Mark as a paladin of the Oath of Vengeance.
Do you say, like, vengeance as you cast this out?
No, what I do is, as all good quarterbacks, when they see their target, they just point at it very determiningly and, like, squint one eye. So now I'm, like, fighting with one eye
Oh, so
open.
you wink at it? You wink at the golem?
No, one eye stays closed the entire rest of the fight. I'm focused with one eye on it.
You're winking at the golem.
I'm winking at the grass golem. And I still have
like that
advantage on
grass
it.
ass, don't ya?
I still have advantage on it because I did not break concentration on the
Well,
Valve
wait a minute. Wait a minute, sir. Hunter's Mark and Vow of Enmity are both concentration.
They are. I can only do one. So then I'm not counting Hunter's Mark. I can't. The
Okay.
Vow of Enmity is too powerful, and I already rolled to keep concentration.
Thank
It's
you,
too
everyone,
powerful.
to Dan Dobro Esquire, our rules lawyer.
It's important to play fair.
I have not passed the bar.
When you do stuff like this, we're gonna thank Esquire here.
But that is a nat 20. So I will also use a spell slot to Divine Smite it.
Yeah, you will, and you're gonna get all that damage.
Oh my god, I'm gonna need
Double.
some quick math break, everyone, because that's that.
is
Then-
Can we spell it out for the audience here? 'Cause
Totally, totally.
I'm thinking. What? Can I try it? Can I try?
Oh yeah, please. I'm just
Okay.
gonna do it written down so I don't screw this up though.
Are you doing a first level smite?
I'm doing a first level smite because I only have that.
All right. So we got 2d6 and 2d8.
Yep.
So that's going to be 12 plus 16
Yup.
right off the bat.
And then my strength
Um,
modifier is 4.
4. So 22 points of
32
points of damage plus 2d6 plus 2d8.
Yup.
Hell yeah.
My nat 20 now does
Little
not. seem
ASMR
that
action with the dice.
Oh yeah. Give it to me. Give me those dice.
Good. I rolled good d6s, not so good d8s.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Just how it be sometimes.
It's cool. You're still critting.
I am still critting for 49 damage.
How do you kill this grass golem?
I take my maul and I put my shield down for a second, grab it the wrong way, where instead of having it like actually use like a bat, I flip it around and I'm going to go towards its butt and I'm like, your grass is ass, and then I just pound my maul through this grass.
How did I not anticipate thousands of grass ass jokes? That's on me, really. Yeah, you kill this grass via its ass. And it definitely breaks apart, and all these tiny pieces of grass float and flicker to the ground. And this fight was only a couple seconds of these people's party, so everyone's like, okay, and they just all start partying again because this is an adventuring school. What are people doing?
Well, if I'm next in initiative, I don't know. I know we're about to be out of it, but I'm thinking what I was going to do with the next round is try to dive in and grab the golem crystal.
Sure. Do you want to dive into the pile of grass that's fallen and make investigation for this crystal?
Investigation? Yeah, sure.
While he's doing that, I'm just looking at the stoners who I still think are stoners.
Can we count that as an attack?
As what?
That is an attack. He's ripping through
No. We're out of combat.
I'm just looking at them and I'm like, and this is why you never mess with the devil's lettuce. Grass is ass.
Actually, so Bert, you go to have this conversation with these people and they're nowhere to be found.
I tell Andre.
Yeah, Stan, what you get?
Rolling that one.
Roll a nat 1.
Can I give him the help?
Guy's
action?
also going to jail.
Wait. He can give you the help action, or somebody else can roll their own investigation check.
I'd rather give him the help action.
Okay. Andre, what are you doing in this moment? You can roll the help action, Dan.
I don't. Derek told me there was stoners. Oh.
Sorry, what?
Derek told me there were stoners that were doing some shady shit, and I only know one set of stoners. So if you'd like, we can go interrogate my roommates.
Your roommates made the grass ass.
I mean,
I got
my
a-
roommates.
I got a
like,
14.
You had a 14. Yeah, you know what? It's actually really not that hard. It's a piece of crystal amongst a bunch of grass. So you dive in and you sift through this, and you come out with a crystal that looks like broken, but like violently broken off of another piece of crystal. And it's like kind of like a light green, but mixed with some like white hues in it. And as you're feeling this, it still feels almost warm with the magic that it was just holding. And you have this piece of crystal. Running up to you guys is going to be it's Lash, Moore, and Mikey are gonna run up to you, Garth, and Andre. You kind of turn around and Odette is standing there, and she's like, "What the hell, man? I thought we were keeping a low profile."
I'm not. Look, things follow me everywhere I go. I can't help but be in the spotlight.
You're not the main character, man. You think you are, but you're causing these messes just as much as they're happening to you.
Bro, he's the main character of my life.
I saw you almost get into a fight. Who are you?
I'm his new best friend.
Oh,
That's what he keeps telling me.
he kind of like looks at you, Andre, and is like, "That is so good for you." You know what? Andre here has always wanted a friend exactly like you. I need you to be yourself times 10. I think that Andre is really excited to have you in his life. And then she turns.
Derek like starts to cry. He's like, "Bro, I'll fucking never let you down, bro. I'm here for you." I reach into my bag and I'm like, all I have left are these pretty old apple slices, but I want you to have them, bro. I want you to have my apple slices. You're the best.
Garth, your friends kind of run up to you and they're like, Mikey, whoa, man, what were you just doing, dude? You were fighting that thing, and then it was all bow, bow, and then this dude was all boom, boom, and oh man, that was insane. And Moore is like, I didn't think I saw you get any damage off on that thing, my guy. You sure you shouldn't be taking Rage 101? That rage looked a little weak to me. And Lash is gonna kind of push him away and be like, Moore, how's your hand? Garth, are you okay?
I think that he's barely listening to the three of them. And he's like, "It's cool, I'm fine." And he's got the crystal in his hand. I think he's like trying to muscle past them. Now, just to make sure I'm understanding the canon in my head. I don't know that Odette is a genius wizard, right?
No, she just is a 12-year-old girl.
Right. Okay. Do I see any of the wizards like around, like any of the nerds?
You don't see any of those nerds, but you do see the two guys that so these guys were in that scuffle earlier. These guys actually, as you recognize them, also were there during the activities fair when you guys had to fight a weird magical apparition.
Perfect.
So these are two dudes you kind of are getting to know vis-a-vis who you're fighting.
Yeah, great.
Sorry,
I think that he's
Dave,
gonna.
what were you gonna say?
I was just saying I'm a wizard that's here.
Yes, Jake is a wizard.
I was just gonna.
You're smart.
So he's gonna kind of muscle past his friends, be like, "I'm cool. It's cool." And he's gonna show, "Hand kid, I need your help with this."
Of course you do. What is it?
And he shows him the crystal. He's like, "You can find me the piece, right? Like it's magic shit."
I don't know. What is it? I'm gonna look it over. What am I looking at? I mean, I know it's a crystal, but like.
It's like a piece of crystal.
Come on, man. Even I know how golems work.
Yeah, if you want to roll history for me, you're welcome to.
Nat 20.
Get the fuck out of here. Holy shit!
This is for the
Yeah,
months of
you-
Tess making fun of me.
Dude, the month? You mean like the last year of her making fun of you for your roles?
This is just the first episode. So you hold this piece of crystal in your hand, and you know that golems are controlled, like what I said, that there's half a crystal here inside of a golem and half a crystal somebody else was holding to telepathically communicate and manipulate the golem essentially. You are standing here and you're holding this piece of crystal, and you feel more connected to this object than you felt to any member of your family in years, besides maybe Odette. This thing is calling to your heart like it's a piece of a puzzle that will eventually create you, maybe. This is something that is in your heritage and deep in your blood. This crystal is Fae.
I'll tell this barbarian that I don't know the name of yet. If you're looking for somebody, start with elves. That's probably who you. Do I know? As a matter of fact, I know a couple
Odette
elves.
is going to kind of push you aside and is going to say, "Let me see that thing," and she's going to grab this crystal and look up at you and go, "This was in it. This was inside of the golem." Yeah, this is if this is what I think it is, we have a bigger conversation we need to have.
Can you find the other half?
The other half is, if they know what they're doing, is gone, right? And we can try to see if we can track it down in some other way, but it's not here anymore.
If we need to have a bigger talk, I'm making chicken.
All right, you're still here. Okay, let's all go back to Dummy's dorm, and points to Andre.
I don't want you all to go to my dorm, but if I'm
all right, we're going to Andre's dorm, and she starts
you
leading.
have your own apartment. We don't have to go into my dorm.
I noticed the barbarian that I just fought in arms with, and I go, I'm not the dumb one. He's the dummy.
And as you all march back into the dorm building to finally meet and go over the moments of these last couple of days, we are going to end this session here, everybody.
Oh my god.
Thanks so much for listening to us and for hearing us play our first session. If it felt rough and bumpy, who cares? We had a good time.
Yeah, fuck what you think.
Before we sign out, does anybody have anything they want to promo or want people to be interested in? My name is Tess Henry. You can find me at Instagram at Tess Does Instagram. And I should be doing a comedy show, actually, storytelling in the next couple of weeks, which I will be advertising on my Instagram page. So you can find all the information there.
I'll try to put it in the description down below.
Yeah, yes, please. Thank you. Dan, do you have something you want to plug or anything?
Yes, I'm Dan Dobro. Hire me to help with your theater projects, and don't look for me on Instagram.
Bert, what do you got for the audience? Obviously,
don't forget Friday nights, 7 p.m. We're doing that Nuzlocke thing.
Yeah, come back to this very channel and watch Bert do other things.
Same Bert time.
Do you have anything that you want to promote?
Yeah, I want to promote Bert's channel. Go watch it.
Yo, that's my hype man right there. That's my hype man.
Nuzlocke's really fun. I'm a fan. I don't know if you're still doing it, but I like the Coliseum run with Brandon.
Yo, Coliseum run is still happening Saturdays. That shit's amazing.
Yeah, go watch more of Bert's content because it's more interesting than anything I could tell you about.
And thanks for watching this content. We're going to try to make it the best content on his page.
Hey.
Honestly, probably.
All right.
See y'all next time.